Good night to everyone. I thought I would come on here tonight and have a conversation about mental toughness and resilience. So that topic is mental toughness and resilience. Now, what is very interesting about even this page that we have, KHOZA'S SEA Academy, what normally happens when persons who are in the education space do lives, normally what they do is that they do, they teach. However, I've chosen to do something different. I've chosen to engage in conversation, and in conversations that I think that are going to help parents and also going to help children. I mean, whether or not you would want to enroll your children in KHOZA'S SEA Academy, that is again totally up to you. This is your choice. I think it would be a good choice, but I mean, it's totally up to you. But I think that I would prefer to engage in conversation rather than, again, teach during lives. As a matter of fact, if you look at our page, it has quite a few topics there. I think I posted today something about prime factorization in mathematics. I also posted some stuff from our literacy corner. And also as well, you can go to our YouTube page and you can find full content in terms of teaching on particular topics. Hopefully this week I would want to start some full-length content on our YouTube page on fractions. I always like to start, honestly, like with fractions, decimals, and percentages, because it is the part of math that children get quite a few problems with. So as I said, today's conversation, and welcome to everyone, today's conversation is going to be about mental toughness and resilience. I think being prepared for an exam is more than just knowing the facts of the exam, because sometimes you can know the facts of the exam and then go into the exam and then do poorly because you have not specifically worked on your mental toughness and resilience. I once heard Jensen Huang, who is the CEO of NVIDIA, say that he always says when he's speaking, I wish for everyone, hardship and pain. And he says that because he understands, based on his own life, that it takes difficulty to create greatness. You can't have one without the other. And therefore you need to be able to learn how to handle difficulty. You need to increase your thresholds, and even students need to increase their thresholds for discomfort, even in the learning process, even through sitting through an exam that is over 3 hours. They need to become comfortable with a certain level of discomfort, and then to be able to master it so it's like nothing. I always say that the exam must be just like another day. It should be just like another day. It shouldn't be anything more than that. So what I'm going to do is that while we're talking, I'm just going to play some background music. For those who are like in my last live, that I'm a fan of classical music. So I'm going to play some Mozart. It's Piano Concerto number 21. And that piano is being played by, let me see if I can pronounce the name properly, it sounds Korean, Yol Son, I think. The pronunciation might be incorrect. But it's the Piano Concerto number 21 by Mozart. Okay, so just have that playing in the background, So the conversation is about mental toughness and resilience. So let's move the camera across here. So they say mental toughness is characterized by qualities such as perseverance, confidence, and emotional control. So, mental toughness basically comprises what they call the 4 C's. And the 4 C's are challenge, commitment, control, and confidence. And we need to remember that. That's challenge, commitment. Hold on for a second. Okay, good. So those 4 C's are challenge, commitment, control, and confidence. That is the basis of mental toughness. Now, if we were to examine what those 4 C's mean, control has to do with your self-esteem. So they say control is your self-esteem, your life's purpose, and your sense of control over your life and emotions. Control is the extent to which you feel you are in control of your life and that you can make a difference and change things. If you are high on control, you have a good sense of who you are and what you stand for and are comfortable in your own skin. You are also better able to control your emotions, meaning you are able to keep your anxieties in check and less likely to be distracted by the emotions of others or reveal your emotional state to other people. Conversely, if you are on the other end of the scale, low on control, you will feel that events happen to you and are outside your personal control or influence. So imagine sitting in an exam and you have low levels of control. And let's say even you know the work. The result may not end up the way that you want it to end up. And there are very specific ways, again, to train mental toughness and resilience. So the second C, so we spoke about the first one, which is control. The second one is commitment. So again, as I said, we talked about mental toughness and resilience. So commitment is your focus and reliability. Being high on commitment means that you're able to effectively set goals and targets and reliably and consistently achieve them without being distracted. You are strong at establishing routines and habits that enable you to be successful. Conversely, if you are at the other end of the scale, low on commitment, you will sometimes fail or find it difficult to set goals and targets and then prioritize them. You may also find it difficult to focus and be easily distracted by other people and competing priorities. You rarely adopt routines or habits to make you successful. So this is the second C in mental toughness. So the control and commitment skills together, control and commitment, represents really the resilience part of mental toughness. Right? So namely the ability to bounce back from setbacks and opportunities. And this is true for adults, this is true for children as well. So again, here at KHOZA'S SCA Academy, for us, it's not just as simple as just teaching the syllabus. I don't think it's as simple as that, because even after we talk about mental toughness and resilience, we also have to have a conversation as well about positive visualization, which is very important for children. And again, there are very specific methods to ensure that children practice that. And that is something as well that we do as well in our class sessions, because it's important. We don't want to leave any stone unturned. We don't. We need to cover all the bases and ensure that, again, the children do well and they're prepared for the examination, and also they're prepared for the transition as well to secondary school. Again, if you hear the music in the background, that is Mozart. That's Piano Concerto number 21. So I'm just playing it in the background. So the third C is challenge. A challenge is your drive and adaptability. Being high on challenge means that you are driven to be as good as you can be and to achieve your personal best. You see challenges, change, adversity, and variety as opportunities rather than threats. You are likely to be adaptable and agile. Conversely, if you are at the other end of the scale, low on challenge, you view change as a threat and so avoid new and challenging situations for fear of failure. Wishing not to expend what you perceive would be a wasted effort. And these things are very, very real. They're very, very real. But they happen really in the mind. And therefore, outside of, again, teaching children those mathematical, computational skills and literacy skills, you also have to, again, train the mind in terms of, again, mental toughness and resilience. It's very important. It's very, very important. You cannot just assume that your children are mentally tough. You can't assume that. You have to train it. You have to train resilience. You have to also train positive visualization. You have to train these things. And the last C is confidence. So we have control. So let me just run through the three that we've talked about. Control, commitment, and challenge. And now we're talking about confidence. Confidence is your self-belief and influence, and describes to what extent you believe you have the ability to perform productively and proficiently, and the ability to influence others. Being high on confidence means that you have the best, or rather, that you have the self-belief to successfully complete on tasks that other individuals with similar ability but lower confidence would think beyond them. In practice, if you are high on confidence, you will take setbacks, whether internally or externally generated, in your stride. You will keep your head, maintain your routine, and often stiffen your resolve. However, if you are low on confidence, you can easily be unsettled by the setback and feel undermined. Your head could drop. Your internal voice's positive commentary, is vital here to counteract this loss of confidence and negativity. So those are the 4 C's of mental resilience that are very important. So I'll just call them out again. They are control, commitment, challenge, and confidence. And actually, control and commitment really encapsulate what mental resilience is, or what resilience is, I think, as I said, beyond teaching children a syllabus, I think these things are very important. And interestingly enough, these things will help children even as they go into secondary school, even as they form new relationships, even as the work gets more complicated. These things will help them to cope as well with that workload. So many of the things that we do are not just simply for the immediacy of, the SAE exam. We take a very long view in terms of what we do and what we say. We take a very long view so that we have a positive impact upon students. from an early age. Interestingly enough, today I was reading a book. I can't remember the name of the book. I think I can pull up the book. Let me see. Yes, I see it here. The name of the book is, let me try to remember what the name of the book is. Yeah, it's a book written by Ben Horowitz. And it is called The Hard Thing About Hard Things. And he was recounting a story when he was playing football in high school. And his coach, Coach Mendoza, came in and gave a speech. And the speech was something like this, right? I'm going to read it ad verbatim. Hold on. I will read it verbatim, sorry. Right, so the coach, his name was Chico Mendoza. So I'm going to read this part, right? He said, Coach Mendoza was a tough old guy who had played college football at Texas Christian University, home of the mighty Horned Frogs. Coach Mendoza began his opening speech. Some of you guys will come out here and just won't be serious. You'll get here and start shooting the shit, talking shit, bullshitting, not doing shit, and just want to look good in your football shit. If you do that, then you know what? Turn your shit in. He went on to elaborate on what was acceptable. Come late to practice? Turn your shit in. Don't want to hit? Turn your shit in. Walk on the grass? Turn your shit in. Call me Chico? Turn your shit in. And he said it was the most intense, hilarious, poetic speech I'd ever heard. I loved it. I couldn't wait to get home and tell my mother. She was horrified, but I still loved it. In retrospect, it was my first lesson in leadership. So, you know, there's a significant correlation between the things we do and how it affects our mental state. And obviously this coach understood that. The things we do and how it affects our mental state, and also the things we do and how it reflects our mental state. So in the words of the coach, I ain't bullshitting. I think mental toughness and resilience is key. It is key. So again, as we said, mental toughness are the 4 C's of challenge, commitment, control, and confidence. And they say then that resilience complements mental toughness. By emphasizing the importance of recovery and adaptation. Resilient individuals are often better equipped to handle stress and adversity, employing coping strategies that enable them to bounce back after setbacks. I think ultimately, as I said, our goal is to one of the things that happens as you get older is that not only do you wrestle with your mortality, but you think about the future space and how you're impacting the future space, those that come after. and the things that you're doing that are going to impact that future space in a positive way to create something better, and even as well to pass on some of the values as well that you have learned. This is why I think it's important for us, as I said, to not just simply be about, okay, this is the syllabus, these are the topics, let's teach these topics, okay, goodbye. I think it's important to instill in young people a sense of self, a sense of confidence, direction, focus, determination, internal strength. The list goes on and on. Morals, ethics, a sense of right and wrong. Again, all of this is beyond teaching somebody, what square roots are and fractions and decimals and simple interest and all these other things. I think it's important as well. It's just as important, perhaps sometimes even more important. Sometimes even more important, I think. Yes, I think it's even more important. And therefore, this is why at KHOZA'S SCA Academy, it's not just about, again, the syllabus. Again, we recognize it's an exam and children need to do well. We get that. We understand that. We have that covered. But I think, as I said, it's important to develop we also understand we're investing in the future. With everything we say, with everything that we do, the example that we set, we understand that we're investing in the future. And I think that's serious business. I think it needs to be taken seriously, so we take it very seriously. So again, for those who have now joined or are scrolling through, I'm simply talking about mental toughness and the 4 C's of mental toughness: control, challenge, commitment, confidence, and also talking about resilience and its importance for children. Children's standards 3, 4, and 5. At some later date on another live, I'm going to talk about positive visualization. We go into some of the techniques that one can use that help to program the mind to see, to actually see and visualize success. Understand, of course, that you can visualize success and not do the work, and you won't be successful. But if you do the work and you can visualize it, then more than likely it's a 99.9% chance you're going to do exceptionally well. And there are tools that are available to help with positive visualization. So interestingly enough, they talk about strategies for developing mental toughness and resilience. So one of them is goal setting. Establishing clear, achievable goals can enhance motivation and focus. Goals provide a roadmap for overcoming obstacles and measuring progress. So something as simple as you got a certain mark in a test, or in creative writing, or in language arts, or in mathematics, and you tell yourself, okay, you know what? I need to raise that mark by 3 marks or 5 marks. So I can either get in the 80s or get in the 70s, and then keep moving up and keep moving up. So you set particular goals. Positive self-talk. Encouraging internal dialogue can boost confidence and foster a growth mindset. Challenging negative thoughts and replacing them with positive affirmations is essential for building resilience. So in that vein, I might wax a little bit biblical and say that there's a scripture that says, death and life are in the power of the tongue, and they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof. So I think sometimes be careful what you say. And even children should be taught that. Be careful of the things you say to yourself, that you repeat to yourself. You need to be repeating positive things to yourself. Not saying I can't and I can't and I can't and I can't. You need to be saying something different. I can. I can, I can, I can. It changes your whole perspective in terms of being able to understand the topic, or even being able to move past something difficult. Mindfulness and stress management. Well, they talk about meditation here. But sometimes, meditation can simply be just sitting in silence. To be quite frank, I guess depending upon what you believe, meditation could be also prayer. Could be the ritual of prayer. I mean, whomever you pray to. It can also help you to manage, your stress and so on. Social support, building a strong network of supportive relationships. So that again, as our parents come into play, in terms of supporting their children, encouraging them, telling them that they are capable, and again being careful with the words that they tell their kids. Embracing failure. But then again, true failure simply is giving up. So even if you, again, do an exam and you do badly, then you've done badly. You need to now take that and learn from it and do better. And you will have feelings connected to having done badly, but you cannot allow those feelings to dictate how you do again in the next time around. So it says analyzing what went wrong and applying those lessons to future endeavors strengthens both mental toughness and resilience. In an increasingly complex and competitive world, which it is, mental toughness and resilience are essential traits that can significantly influence an individual's ability to succeed. And again, as I said, we don't only think simply those 3 years of standards 3, 4, and 5. We are trying to sow certain seeds that are going to help children even when they become adults. Again, we are thinking long term. I think it's important, in terms of being responsible and responsible educators. So in an increasingly complex and competitive world, mental toughness and resilience are essential traits that can significantly influence an individual's ability to succeed. By understanding and cultivating these attributes, individuals can better navigate challenges, recover from setbacks, and ultimately achieve their personal and professional goals. Well, so that's value now and value down the road. As research continues to illuminate the importance of these traits, it is clear that fostering mental toughness and resilience is a worthwhile investment in one's future. So why not get started early? Why not get started early? And therefore that is our intention in terms of teaching mental toughness and resilience now, and again, as I said, teaching positive visualization now. Yes. So feel free to follow this page. Feel free to give us a call if you have any questions or concerns, or you want to sign up your children for standards 3, 4, or 5 lessons. Actually, soon enough, we will be. I should keep that to myself for now. We'll have a conversation about that probably in December. But if you want to sign up your kids now, please do so. Particularly for children in standard 5. Yes, I think it's a viable option in terms of signing up your children. Obviously, it's up to your parents. I think it'll be a great idea to help children get the result that that they want. And again, even from the past lives, when I talk about result, to be quite frank, I'm only factoring in first choice places. So there are certain marks that I know that children need to aim for. And the earlier they sign up, the better for them. That means they have more time to make mistakes, to not understand, to basically journey from either from mediocrity to excellence. They have enough time to do that. Okay, so I'm going to sign out now. It's nice having that chat, and I wish everyone has a good night. Yeah, so I'll see you guys tomorrow. Probably do another live tomorrow. So I will see you all tomorrow. So as I said, check out our page. We have some short videos, teaching videos, and then we're posting some long form videos on YouTube sometime this week, and continuing to do so that you would also be able to access free content on our YouTube page. Yeah, so a good night to everyone.